Hey, welcome back. We are going to do a word problem in systems of equations. So it says Mike and Gavin visited the amusement park with their science class on a school physics day. Their tickets were stamped each time they went on the ride. Mike and Gavin spent the entire afternoon going on their two favorite rides, the roller coaster and the gravity free fall. At the end of the day, their tickets were stamped like this. Find the cost of each ride. All right. So you were saying, go ahead. You were explaining how you figured this. Where did it go? Oh, there it goes. How you figured this out without using a system of equations, like kind of thing. Go for it.
Okay, so what I'm doing is that for A, I decided to use Mike's ticket as that was the first one I saw, and I said, why not? So for Mike's ticket, he ended up spending $36. And so since he ended up riding the two coasters or two rides, we only want to focus on the what was the cost of the ride for the roller coaster. So since he rode on two and he rode each of them three times, that's six rides in total. So we're going to divide the cost by two. 36 divided by 2 is 18. Now we want to find how much does it cost to ride once the roller coaster. And since he rode through a ride three times, we would divide 18 by 3, which would leave us with 6. So my guess, based on my work, is $6 for the roller coaster.
Okay. So that would be true. Like your method would be true if every single time they rode on a roller coaster, it just cost a ticket. But um there's a difference in the prices, and you know that because of this guy over here. So you're the beginning of what you're talking about is kind of I thought that's where you were going to go with it. So you said something along when you first explained when we weren't recording, you said I used Mike's ticket and compared it to Gavin's ticket, and I noticed that Mike rode it rode the rides a total of 6 times versus Gavin's ticket, which was 5. Very good, right? Okay. So what you actually found is called the average cost of Mike's rides. Does that make sense? So you found if I don't know, Mike said, "Hey, how much did you spend?" And he goes, "Oh, I spent $36." And she's like, "Okay, well, how many rides did you ride?" And he's like, "Well, I rode 6 times total." And she's like, "Okay, well, that's about $6. That's fine. That's fine. That's not too expensive." So you did not what you did not find was you did not find his cost to the roller coaster. So I like your thinking on it, but you could go with this same thing in a different way. Excuse me. And you'll still get to the answer. So you're actually not too far off because I know the answer, right? So hold on to that. What were you going to say, hun?
I was just gonna ask, when I was like going over, I was like, wait, so did we figure out like per one ticket how much it is, or like overall? So I just put both just in case, to be
Yeah.
sure.
No. We want to know how much, like, if you just went to the park and you rode the roller coaster once, how much did you spend? Right. So if I'll just tell you right now, if Ricky goes to the park with $6, he'll be able to ride something, but he may not be able to ride every single ride. Right. All right. So what I want you guys to do, and this is what my hint to you guys before you guys went into your groups, was this. I want you to look at what Mike rides and what Gavin rides. And I said, I need you to think of two things. What's the same and what's the difference? So give me some sames and give me some differences in there. Yes, that's exactly it, actually. So here's the explanation. I'm going to save this explanation. I'm going to copy this in just a second. Okay. What's the same? What do you guys notice here is the same between Mike and Gavin? Very good. The same exact thing is they both rode gravity the same exact time. Very good. Someone else says the same is that yeah. I'm going to copy this. They rode. So someone said, here's what's the same. The same is that they rode gravity free fall 3 times and the roller coaster. The difference is here, Mike rides it 3 times and Gavin only rides it 2 times. So here's another way of saying it. Mike rode the roller coaster 1 more time than Gavin. but everything else was exactly the same. Does that make sense? Are you guys all comfortable with that? Sorry, I'm just writing down your awesome explanations. Okay. So then this is what someone said. Okay, so is everybody comfortable with these two things? Oh, I see that they both rode the gravity free fall 3 times. Check, check. Someone else says, and then the difference is the roller coaster, Mike rode it 3 times versus Gavin rode it 2 times. Someone succinctly says, the only difference is that Mike rode the roller coaster 1 more time than Gavin. So does that 1 more time show up in the number of times that they ride? Yes. More importantly, does it show up in the price that they paid? How much they spent? Everyone says?
Yes.
Yes. So what does this mean? If Mike rode the roller coaster 1 more time than Gavin, how much more did Mike spend? Yeah. Okay, perfect. Someone said, I just subtracted. Oh, wait, I don't want to lose this. Okay. So someone wrote this early on, and I want to write this down, and someone else wrote something else really, really strong, and I didn't copy it. I copied it. Hold on. I got to find it. Here it is. Here it is. Good thing that chat doesn't go away, right? I wrote that one again. Okay, so read through that. This is what your classmate said. I couldn't have said it better, so I'm literally going to put it up there for you guys to see. This is what one of your other classmates said. So I'm reading this one. This person says, hey, Ms. Johnson, I thought the cost for the roller coaster would be $650 only because Mike went on the roller coaster 1 more time than Gavin. And the total price between Mike's cost and Gavin's cost was $650. Is this pretty succinct? Do you have anything to add to this? So if this person puts this information on the test, do you see how they're going to get a perfect? Everyone see that? Now someone's like, but Miss Johnson, I wrote a system of equations. Am I wrong? No, not at all. This is what another person wrote, kind of similar. Kind of like it to be over on this side of the page. So said, I think A is this. A is $650. So the cost for the roller coaster is $650. If you multiply by 2 for Gavin's ticket, it'll be $13. So multiply 2. For Gavin's ticket. So now this is how she's finding $550. So then in order to find this one over here, she's telling us already, if you multiply this by 2, you get $13. And then Gavin's total is $29.50. So then you subtract, so it'll be $16.50. Divide by 3, you get $550. So this person's already on the next part. So for those of you who said, hey, Ms. Johnson, do we have to write or could we write a system? Do you see this person's thought process here? This person's thought process? Is that okay? Yeah, pretty neat, right? Now, Ms. Johnson, are they smarter because they thought about it this way? No. Are you smarter because you used a system? No. It's just how your brain thinks. So if your brain went instantly to the system of equation, that's how my brain works. I'm like, ooh, I know how to do this. And I use the tool, right? And if your brain instantly went to, wait, same, different. Dude, the only difference here is this one ride. And I subtract here. Oh, that's got to be $650. So is everybody comfortable with what we talked about here? Yeah? Okay. So I'm gonna push you to number 9 really quick. Number 9. So the advantage for number 8 was that there were something that was the same. Do you guys all see that? So here, for those of you who are like, I love systems. I know that systems is going to work every single time. I'm going to solve it this way. Do it. Okay. For this person here, the one who wrote this right here, you're going to play with your numbers a little bit because the advantage here was that the only difference between these 2 tickets was Mike rode the roller coaster 1 more time. I don't know. Maybe Gavin went and got like a snack. I don't know. Maybe he didn't have enough money to pay for that last roller coaster. I'm not sure. Okay. But here, I'm going to try to get these to be as same as possible. As same as possible. Okay. I don't know how you want to do it. In my brain, I can kind of see how the centrifugal something chamber is going to be the same. So go talk to your neighbors and see if it makes sense. Okay. And then we'll come back for this one.
Mrs. Johnson, you're muted.
Okay. So I just wanted to give you a hint before we left. So one of the easiest ways to do this without using an actual system of equations, if you use a system of equations, that's great. My thinking was I wanted to get the number of either splash peaks to be the same or the number of centrifugal chambers to be the same. Now, if I look at this 2 to 4, I can get 2 to 4, right? And when I do that, then that means I rode the splash peak 8 times. I'm going to just write 8 splash peak. And then the centrifugal chamber, I would have written 4 times. But then also the amount of money I was spending would have been twice as much, right? So instead of $39.50, it would have been twice that. So twice 40 would have been 80 minus $1, which is $79, right? So so then now I can play with these two and understand like, oh, these are the same. I can basically subtract these. I can subtract this equation, this ticket from here. So if I subtract these two tickets, this ticket minus this ticket, I get centrifugal would be gone, and I'd have 5 splash peaks. And then I would have a number 79 minus 42 would be 37, but 36.25. Okay, so it would be 36.25. So that means, right, that 5 splash peaks will cost $36.25. From there, could you figure out, is that right? 36? Yeah, that's right. Because from there, could you figure out how much one splash is? And you're like, oh, yes, I can. Okay, so this is where I want you to continue later on. All right. And we'll check back with you guys to make sure that you understand that answer.